This morning, President Trump lashing out at his critics.
I don't mind being criticized, but not when they're wrong.
During a combative briefing on the coronavirus, the president defended his response to the pandemic and played a campaign-style video during the news conference.
The press has not treated these incredible people who've done such a great job. They haven't treated them fairly.
President Trump says the video was produced by White House staff, which immediately got the attention of the former head of the Office of Government Ethics, who tweeted, "So our tax dollars and the presidential mansion we own are now being used to broadcast campaign ads." Dr. Anthony Fauci then clarified an answer he gave during a Sunday interview when he said more lives could have been saved if the U.S. had made earlier efforts to contain the virus.
The nature of the hypothetical question was if, in fact, we had mitigated earlier, could lives have been saved? And the answer to my question was, as I always do, and I'm doing right now, perfectly honestly, say yes. I mean, obviously, the first and only time that Dr. Birx and I went in and formally made a recommendation to the president listened to the recommendation.
Fauci making that clarification Monday after President Trump retweeted a post Sunday night that called for Fauci to be fired.
This is the world we live in. You're going to see things like that all the time. I think that was as a result of an answer to a question that I was given by a reporter, which was a valid question. It was a hypothetical question. Somebody didn't like the way I answered it, so they hashtagged it Fire Fauci. That's it. That's the world we live in. I accept it. It doesn't bother me.
Dr. Fauci went on to say a lack of information early in the crisis prevented him from knowing how the virus spreads. President Trump also highlighted his decision to restrict travel from China in late January. But he was then pressed on what the administration did in February to prepare, a month during which the president is accused of downplaying the threat.
What do you do when you have no case in the whole United States? When you excuse me, you reported it. 0 cases, 0 deaths on January 17th.
February, the entire
January. I said in January.
Your video has a complete gap.
On January 30th.
What did your administration do in February with the time that your travel ban bought you?
A lot. And in fact, we'll give you a list. What we did, in fact, part of it was up there. We did a lot. Look. You know you're a fake. You know that. Your whole network, the way you cover it, is fake.
As for reopening the economy, the president declared he has total authority when it comes to how and when to ease up on social distancing.
When somebody's the president of the United States, the authority is total. And that's the way it's got to be.
But according to constitutional experts, Trump is wrong. The president can issue guidelines, but the authority to close businesses during a public health crisis is reserved to the states, not the federal government.
You said when someone is president of the United States, their authority is total. That is not true. Who
okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to write up papers on this. It's not going to be necessary because the governors need us one way or the other.
Has any governor agreed that you have the authority to decide when their state
I haven't asked
back up?
anybody because I don't. You know why? Because I don't have to. Go ahead, please.
But who told you the president has the total authority?
Enough. The governor of New York is teaming up with 6 other states to develop a plan to reopen the East Coast, similar to a plan on the West Coast. He disagrees with Trump's assessment.
We don't have a king. We have an elected president.
In Michigan, critics are planning a rally tomorrow to protest the governor's stay-at-home order. Meanwhile, in Europe, some countries are now trying to ease their lockdowns, but France and the UK are keeping theirs in place.